Next trend from Steve Jurvetson, Deus Ex Machina, for all you classics fans. Machine learning innovates the tech frontier. So Steve wins at Scrabble. Machine learning is the technology under the covers that powers many of the exciting new products that leverage big data to appear nearly magical. Imagine a Google research approach to everything. Please explain.
Sure. So this is a bit abstract, but I think it's really important and hopefully interesting.
What does innervate mean, by the way?
It's sort of envelop, take over, but almost like a nervous system to add intelligence to things that formerly weren't intelligent. So what is machine learning? It's a set of software algorithms that allow computers to learn patterns in data without explicit programming models. So as a programmer or designer, you don't tell the computer how to recognize faces or human speech or translate. You just give it thousands and millions and billions of examples and give it in a learning engine, right? So it's a little bit out of control. You sort of get what you want, but you don't have precise control over the process. You, in a sense, have to relax your presumption of control. So companies like Google are all over it as a humble approach to the world. Later, physicians and bankers might eventually adopt it whole cloth, but not early on because of that sort of relaxation of control. Now, why is it important? Well, the prediction is that if there's anything in the next 5 years that blows you away, like Siri might have, or Google autonomous cars would, or these Google Glass or Google beer goggles thing I just described, it probably was made possible because of machine learning. And the thing to pay attention to as a technologist, a programmer, or someone in a tech or nearly tech business is how could I use machine learning in my business? If you look at big data, you hear a lot about that. It's not interesting if not for machine learning. There's nothing special about big data this time around that's any different from data overload. There's data everywhere. It's the way we now process data, the way Google processes data. The same is true for the Internet of Things. Sensors everywhere, all these phones being sensor networks. Only interesting if you have machine learning to process that which is beyond human comprehension. Increasingly, the artifacts we want to build exceed human comprehension. You couldn't sit down and program the Google autonomous car to do what it does. You need a learning algorithm. It's like growing a kid or growing a brain. You don't control what you make, but you control the process of its creation. It's a very powerful tool. So the prediction again, things that blow you away. What might that be? Humanoid robots entering the workplace, from Baxter, from Rethink and others, that seem and act uncannily human and have common sense in the way they behave. That's just now starting to ship. You may or may not have been exposed to some of that. Or the Google Glass applications. Or autonomous cars. For anyone who's worried about a kid that's going to eventually drive, depending how old they are, if they're less than 10, they may never need to drive. I hope my kids never drive, and I actually honestly believe they won't. And that'll be great. Real-time translation services. Just about anything you've ever heard of at Google that sounds interesting and new was based on machine learning. And it's the one way to make coherence out of their business strategy after the fact, is that they're looking at every industry. Everywhere where technology is starting to percolate into an otherwise prosaic, non-tech industry, apply big data, apply machine learning, and revolutionize it. Even places like personalized medicine, and eventually places like, well, actually it's starting to happen in banking, to tell you the truth. They're already starting to use it for program trading, but it's just starting because of that out-of-control element of it. So again, in a nutshell, the prediction is machine learning is important. It will innovate businesses that weren't that smart before and make them smart, and it's important.